Welcome to Sports Overtime. We are here in our digital studio. Southeast Sports Plus comes your way Monday to Friday, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock on the free WKRG Plus app. We preview another big week in college football and talk some college basketball here on our show. Here's the best of.
It's such a daunting schedule.
Yes.
That's the only one that wasn't in the top 25 of the 5-week stretch, right? And it's on the road, and South Carolina's playing better. Of course, they fired Mike Shula right after that, so their offense wasn't gelling very well. But I just think it was a difficult circumstance. Let's be honest. There may not be parity in college football, but it's a lot closer now because you can't pay everybody. We had this thinking, right, that the rich get richer, and they do because they're going to get the best players, but they can't pay everybody. They've got a budget. Right. So now all these other schools can pay. So there's players everywhere. And this is just a personal opinion. I think they got a little cute on offense. This Caden Proctor lining up from the 3.
Right.
You know, he's not used to running the ball. What if somebody takes his knees out? Because that's how I'm tackling him. That wouldn't be pretty.
Right.
And he's your best run blocker, but you decided to take him off the line to put him at tailback. It's gotten cute now.
You're right.
Stop it.
Right.
Stop it. Let him play offensive tackle. It was cool for a couple of plays. Be done with it. Let's run the offense.
I agree with you. I thought that they were starting to drink their own Kool-Aid on just the creativity of the whole offense and putting Proctor in there. And it felt like you said, at first it felt creative and, okay, make your opponent have to, address something different. And then now, like you said, it's gotten to where it's kind of almost counterintuitive to what you do the best.
Yeah. I mean, we gave him a taste of it, right?
Right.
So he should be happy. We don't have to run 2 plays every game for him, I don't think, right? So, and when I say we, I'm talking about like you're on the coach's staff. So
right.
That's a little cute for my blood, and they need to figure that out. They got to get the running game going still, but at least they have the attempts, as we've talked about all year. Mm-hmm. And I still think the attempts are important to getting that 34.4 points. Their rushing yards, as you see, is not great, but it's not completely horrible. And the attempts to get the rushing yards, you still have to respect the attempts. Right. So far it's working. We'll see.
Absolutely. We got a chance to hear from Coach Kalen DeBoer about this rivalry, Alabama and LSU, here in November.
Well, this is going to be a physical game. It was last year. I think it always has been. That's the tradition here. You can see what their team is made up of. It's physical players. I think they got elite skill, both offensively and defensively, whether it's coverage or being able to win on the perimeter and the running backs as well. So, this rivalry goes way back. You do the introduction with our team and talk about I think it was 1895, if I remember right, doing the research, and that's a lot of games that have happened between these two schools. And so we're looking at this as one of those rivalry games that I was told much about when I first got here. So it's going to be, again, a great environment, a lot of pride, both for our program and theirs as well.
Scott, the first college football playoff committee rankings came out earlier this week, and Alabama was in the top 4 and would have a first-round bye if the playoffs were to start right now. Could you see Alabama running the table the rest of the way and still getting that first-round bye?
Yeah, I think this week is daunting a little bit. Yeah. The next week, Oklahoma has an off week to prepare for Alabama, but it is at Alabama. So Alabama's, they're favored and will be because they're at home virtually the rest of the season, correct? Right. 3 straight at home, and then Auburn. They don't have to leave the state. That works in their favor. But Oklahoma and LSU will be daunting, and who knows about Auburn? Normally they're daunting anyway because it's a rival game. If they get some confidence in their next couple of games, that could be really big, and that's going to be at Auburn. So if you made me say, I think they win out and they're at least in the top 4. If you made me say it.
Right.
That's not without taking some caution, though.
Yeah. I think that's actually, that's actually my prediction there as well, and I think that's actually what's going to play out. One more final football thing before we move over to basketball. I think, Scott, since the last time we have talked to you, the only SEC job that was open was Arkansas. Since then, we've gotten Florida, we've gotten LSU, and the latest now, the Auburn Tigers. If you can, put a bow on what you've seen overall with the college football coaching carousel, how early it is right now, and how we're seeing coaches get fired a lot earlier right now in this carousel, and what jobs and the timing of all this as far as getting their replacements.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of interesting, right? We all know Lane Kiffin will have the biggest opportunity if he wants it. Personally, I think he would be nuts to take any of these because in the older days, there was a difference between, and this will get me in trouble, as usual, between Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and then Ole Miss, LSU, whatever.
Right.
He's sixth in the country. At Ole Miss.
Yes.
So you're gonna go somewhere to do what exactly? Pay you more? I think he's in the top 5 and getting paid.
Right.
You're gonna have a chance to win more, or you're winning at Ole Miss. So this new age of moving to a program because I grew up wanting to be the ex-coach, I don't know if that's gonna be a factor. If I were betting, I would say he's staying put at Ole Miss. We'll see.
Yeah.
Now, what does that do? I mean, coaching's so crazy. To your point, Gerhard, James Franklin's a candidate for jobs, and he was just fired at Penn State.
Yes.
Why in the world would Auburn hire a fired coach?
Right.
That doesn't make sense to me. And that's no disrespect to him. I think he's a good coach. He just didn't get it completely done at Penn State. So it's going to be interesting to see which one wins out. You could argue Auburn's a great job. You could argue Florida might be the best job. LSU's got all the talent in the state, but look at the pressure. They fired before Brian Kelly, they fired the last 3 coaches and they won national titles.
Right.
I mean, wow.
Exactly.
So, but is it a good job? Yeah. Can they pay? Sure. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it all shakes out. They all can't hire the one hot guy.
Right.
To your point, we haven't seen this many big-time jobs open in a while, I think.
In a long time.
I do think Auburn, I do have an opinion on Auburn. I think they need to stay away from the cutesy play caller. They're paying the last 3 to not coach, over $50 million combined. So they need the Pat Dye, Tommy Tuberville, my opinion again.
Yeah.
Defensive-minded, tough guy. And I think Summerall, Brent Key, and Clark Lee would be my 3. But again, Clark Lee might go, I'm the king at Vandy. He was number 9, right, before loss. They were number 9 in America. You don't have to go anywhere to do that damage.
Stay with us here on Sports Overtime. And remember, you can watch our show, Southeast Sports Plus, from 2 to 4 o'clock on the free WKRG Plus app. You can find us on your Roku, Fire TV, or Apple TV device. As you look ahead to this Missouri football game, obviously with Perbula out, they'll go back to the ground, but they probably have one of the best running backs in the entire country in Ahmad Hardy and a really good running game. What do you expect to see of this defense as they move forward going into this matchup in Columbia?
They definitely have their work cut out for them. And we talked about it, I think, a few weeks ago about Ahmad Hardy just being one of those top runners in the SEC and potentially being on Heisman watch. And I think it's almost, could we say that it's a Heisman watch kind of competition with Marcel Reed and Ahmad Hardy, right? You got maybe a Heisman game for either of them. And I think it boils down to the fact of whether Texas A&M can stop the run. And if they can, I think they got a great chance at winning this game. But they also haven't done that all year. They had some issues at the beginning of the year. They've really shored that up in the past few weeks. But it's whether they regress back into that against one of the nation's top running backs. And I think that's what we're going to have to watch for on Saturday.
Absolutely. On the other side of the ball, Marcel Reed, nearly 2,000 passing yards. Obviously, they had a great ground game there as well to help balance it out. This guy just continues to look more and more impressive, and his Heisman odds just keep getting slimmer and slimmer as far as going up the ranks on that. What do you just make of what he's been able to do so far? Obviously, the huge game against LSU, or what I like to call the Brian Kelly can game. And so, like, this is a player that just seemingly, whatever way it needs to be done, he can take care of the load.
Yeah, I think he really likes playing LSU too. He's had some very quality starts against. I mean, and he didn't even start against LSU last year. He came in for Connor Wigman when the offense just wasn't rolling, and then ran for 3 straight touchdowns. So I think maybe there is something about playing the Tigers that really gets him fired up. But he has been able to do it in every single way that he needs to, whether it's winning the game off of an opening drive against Auburn and then letting the defense do the work and maintaining the ball, kind of keeping the ball, keeping possession, letting the defense make stops when they need to, or whether it's going out and just putting up 40 plus points every week. I think this offense really does have that potential, and they've shown it all year.
Absolutely. We got a chance to hear from head coach Mike Elko this week about this year's team and being able to get some more experience after the bye.
I think we got rest and recovery. I think that was the goal. In terms of how fresh we are, I don't know. Obviously, energy is high because of the situation that we're in. If we were 3-5, I'm sure we would feel more tired. We would feel more fatigued. We wouldn't have as much energy going about our daily business. And so that plays a role for sure. And so I think it's hard to compare how fresh we really are. But certainly the bye came at a really good time for us as we head into this November stretch. And it was good to kind of unplug and recharge.
Parker, I find it a little bit interesting because the ESPN FPI only has Texas A&M sitting at an 8.5% chance to win out. And, I mean, I wonder if it's because you're going to Austin and maybe some respect here for Mizzou. What do you make? Do you think the Aggies could somehow, finish the season 12-0?
I think it's tough in the SEC. I think that's maybe the reason why the percentage is so low is you rarely have, especially the teams that aren't the Alabamas or the teams that aren't the Georgias that finish undefeated in SEC play. But even in recent memory, I don't think the SEC champion hasn't had a loss, Right. So I think that's probably why. But also, I think the schedule also stacks up pretty well for A&M should they take care of business. Like South Carolina's not an easy opponent by any stretch, but they probably should win that game. Mizzou, they probably should win that game. Even down in Austin, I think they should win that game. But, that Lone Star Showdown, I don't know how to swing it, really. I don't know how to predict it. I don't know what's going to happen. Down in Austin, it's a rowdy environment. I think that's what a lot of people are skeptical about, but certainly going to be a good one down there on Black Friday.
Stay with us here on Sports Overtime. And remember, you can watch our show, Southeast Sports Plus, from 2 to 4 o'clock on the free WKRG Plus app. You can find us on your Roku, Fire TV, or Apple TV device. A familiar, beautiful face in the house back with us, our very own Simone Eli. Simone, you know what? I'm just going to step away from this microphone really quick.
Oh
and
my gosh.
It's your floor. It's your floor.
No, guys. Oh my goodness. Well, obviously, as it's probably been well discussed and probably mentioned some point this week or on this show today, it's my last day here in Mobile, and it's been kind of a whirlwind already, just of the day, so to speak, but also kind of been a whirlwind of just the last couple of weeks and how all this has kind of come up. Obviously, I'm leaving for New York City, which is wild to even have those words come out of my mouth. In Mobile, the Southeast Sports Plus, the SEC is, to say that I'm proud of it, to say that it's been everything and more to my entire life for the last, more than a decade is an understatement. And I would have retired here, And I think that every now and then, they turn the lights off on you, and you just gotta roll with the punches. But
how poetic!
I know.
But I think you guys know me, right? I'm unbelievably proud of this show. And of this TV station, but I'm also excited about what this next step looks like from the standpoint of having a lot of support and a lot of people, who've just kind of put me in a position to be able to go do this. That includes the two of you guys. There's a lot of people in Nexstar who have kind of put me in a position to go have success and to go do this.
Right.
None bigger than the two people sitting at this table, right? I mean, you two. I mean, Gerhard, obviously, first and foremost, just like, we still have an entire day of television to get through together.
That's true.
So there's that part. But your friendship to me is beyond words. It's obviously well beyond this television station. It's well beyond this show. Thank God for it, because when I'm calling you trying to figure out what's going on in Major League Baseball that I'm covering and other things like that, I'm gonna need you to answer. Like you've helped build everything. We've done it together. I was a sports director 3 years ago, and now it's your show. And then you get this sidekick guy over here who, I'm grateful that he came into our life too. Because 100%. Honestly, we didn't know what this show was really going to look like and how we were going to be able to do it. And then we get the young gun in here, and we kind of build him up, and he takes it off and takes off with it and just does everything that he's been doing, Patrick. And grateful for your you wanting to come down here and do this thing here in Mobile with us. And so,
honestly, words cannot describe how grateful I am for both of you allowing me to come down here. It's not an easy move, moving all the way from home, but you guys have really been like my family down here, and that's really meant a lot, because it really is tough for if people haven't moved like 1,000 miles away from home. Like, you have no one. And you guys are my best friends down here.
You guys, you've become like our little work son. Exactly. You're like our friend, and you're of drinking age and everything like that. We play golf and stuff. We can't really tell you what to do when you have a girlfriend you live with, but we can. And you're engaged and you're like a grown man, but you're still like our child. I feel like you have great parents, but we get to kind of hijack you at least at work here. But to say I'm gonna miss you guys is an understatement. But I also know that I know that you're a phone call away. You guys know that I'm a phone call away, and we still have an entire day's worth of television to do today too. So, but and another thing I want to mention too is that I think a big part of this opportunity has come out of this show. And wow, I literally, I'm not kidding, I just got chills. This show is successful because we have had dozens and dozens and dozens of television stations and reporters across Nexstar buy into this show and buy into what it is that we're doing. It was not just me, not just you, not just Patrick, we've had engineers, you name it here, Gene Kirkconnell, Jesse Greer to sign off on us doing this, people in corporate, but the people who've made the magic happen are the people who have answered the call day in and day out on this show and made appearances. And probably none bigger than our guy Roger Wallace, who has become a staple on this show. He's a veteran sports director, the voice of the Longhorns, and he's stuck with us every single week and helped grow this thing. We appreciate every single news director and general manager that takes this show across Nexstar Nation. It's more than 20 TV stations, the collaboration. I think that we're about to have, hit the end break. I'm gonna have to,
No, we got time. We got time.
We got time.
We're extended all the way to 58.
59.
59. Okay, great.
Yeah,
okay.
59%.
But those people, the leadership at every individual station across the Southeast, and we're at 100%. Every single Nexstar station that has CTV in the Southeast takes part of this show or all of this show.
Right.
I'm indebted. I'm undoubtedly grateful for forever that so many people bought in, because I think that it's been a huge thing for this company, and from a personal standpoint, I feel like it's part of the challenge and part of the call of what we're going to go try to do in New York, something different, right? But the same model of, hey, how can we go grow in this great platform that we have in our company?
Right.
And that doesn't happen without general managers and news directors across the SEC and Nexstar saying, like, we want to take this great product, we want our talent to be on it, then those people buying in, photographers shooting great video, and everybody just being so collaborative. It brings me to tears. I'm so proud of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And equally, I'm going to miss it a lot too. I am.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah,
so.
and the thing that I'll add to it is that, like, with every great change, there needs to be some kind of change maker. And, like, for example, when you have still water at a lake, right, and you throw a rock in it, and you have that ripple effect, and you see it miles down the road. If you keep up with that ripple effect, you see it miles down the road, and that's what you are. You were instrumental to help bringing all of this together, from our rehearsal shows that we were doing right before newscasts We were working before we did. I'll peel the curtain back. Before we were doing the 6 o'clock, and before the 10 o'clock, we'd come in here, and this wasn't anything close to what it is right now. And we would do mock shows, and Patrick would sit right there, and he'd punch it up. And
there was one day we didn't leave here until 2 a.m.
That's exactly right.
I remember.
I think I have a picture from that, actually.
Yeah.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you, everybody across the Southeast, Southeast Sports Plus. Thank you across Nexstar, Gerhard, Patrick, people in corporate, from top to bottom, for your support, for helping us get here. And, man, looking forward to doing it on the big stage and seeing all the success here on this show as well, guys. For Gerhard, for Patrick, I'm Simone. We'll see you next week.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Southeast Sports Plus. Remember, you can watch our show Monday to Friday, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock on the free WKRG Plus app. You can find us on your Roku, Apple TV, or Fire TV device. Good night.